Alright. This will be my attempt at a Raj guide. In the past, I have tried making a Google Doc, but always ended up unsatisfied with how Country Guide plays out in text format, so I will be trying to make a video one. And I don't know, maybe it'll be better, maybe it will not. So the first thing we are going to do is try and go for early mobilization and potentially partial mobilization as soon as possible. Early mobilization definitely by the end of 36, and partial mobilization can be, but only if Japan declares an earlier war. So, as we are at 10% war support to start off, we need this Lines of the Great War to put us up to 15 for early mobilization. And so that is the first way we'll be going. Not the economy tab, because the buffs, it's and because early mobilization is better boost to your economy than anything that tree gives. So we'll be starting out with infrastructure in West Bengal and Delhi, just because they're the biggest states for slots. So 6 here, 6 here. All the rest are 4s or 2s. For right now. So, quickly swap on. Oh, never mind, we're not democratic. Alright. Start off with our mystery research. So, I will be playing on 5 speed. Let me turn debug smooth so it runs faster. Up until, like, the Japan War, so, like, start of 41. Trains. One on convoys. And I will not be playing with South Africa for this one, just so it's valid for all Raj games. If you have South Africa, it probably wouldn't change much, just your history would be bigger. Alright. And are these all the same type? They are. I'll put them all in Delhi. And exercise. And okay, hold on. I might have lied about being done. There we go. Alright, and we will start an agency just because our civilian factories are crap and garbage right now. The AI will trade you a bit. I will try and keep trade. So, for example, like Hungary and potentially Iraq would not be trading with me. So any trades that I'll try and keep an eye out for any trades that the AI does that a player would not do and try and cancel them out. So it's as accurate as possible. Spy, and you can either put them on counterintelligence or closer to the war, build up an intel network on Siam or Manchukuo, whoever holds this, just to decrease their planning, reduce their entrenchment, whatnot. Because ideally, you do want to prepare to push on this front in time. Alright, and we're going to go Indianization of the army. That gets us PP and puts us towards Lines of the Great War. And so to get early mobilization, it needs to be technically be more than 15% war support. So all that means is world tension has to be above 0. As long as that's above 0, then you can get at least early mobilization in 36. And in a bit, I will show you how you can also get partial mob if Japan does an earlier war. So now we have some PP for our first advisor pick. I would go with the stability guy. The reason being it gives more PP, and it gives consumer goods, both which are good. And yeah, I mean, I prefer the stability guy. I guess you're stability guy, and then we're going to save some PP because we're going to be coming up on early mobilization. Alright, so that focus is selected. We're going to keep on doing industry. I prefer disperse personally, but it does not matter that much. Because your factory shouldn't be getting bombed, hopefully. And so now that we have the XP, we are going to select Professional Officer Corps for this middle Spirit of the Army. And so the reason why is the land doctrine cost and army experience gain are alright, but the main thing is that command power gain. So the main thing stopping Iraj from sending attaché to China when Japan declares war and getting enough force support for partial MOB, which is 25%, is a lack of command power. And this gives you a lot more. So we're making 0.11. This pushes up to 0.16. It might not seem that big a difference, but it cuts the time by a third. So that is what we'll do. And if you really wanted to, you could also grab this for the extra command power gain. If you want to go Grand Battle Plan, but I prefer Mobile Warfare, so I would prefer to keep the Doctrine buff and delay it a little bit. Alright, and we'll start queuing up our civilian factories. The AI is still trading me 3. I think only 2 of those. Yeah, Iraq. Oh, and Bulgaria. I missed Bulgaria. Alright, so we'll straight out 3. Alright. There's early mobilization. Now the early mob is done. Now we can finish up the infrastructure. Nah. I'll put that at the top. Alright, now we can begin working on our industry tree because the political is still locked out. We get a new division. We want to make sure it's like everyone else, which is district. Alright. No. District. Put it in. Go exercise. Perfect. And then you can go political loyalty. However, since you flip democratic later on, when the UK does their focus, this disappears and it becomes some crap. So you might just want to either pick one of these or save it. Save the army XP. Alright, and now, if I remember, yeah, we'll go for the research slot I think we'll be going for next. And I will try and leave timestamps on the video. Never done them before, but I'll try, so it's not such a hassle if you want to revisit. Or if you're just here for the first time, whatever it is. Because there'll be lots of empty space, because, well, Toy 4. And I'm not the most entertaining narrator, that I know. Alright. So now, steel first. And so, I have the PP almost for an advisor, but we will not be buying one. Do not buy an advisor at this point. Because if China war breaks out, with our increased command power, we are just about at the point where we could send an attaché. And then you want to save extra PP so you can go up to partial MOB. So if Japan's going to early war, they would do it around now. And honestly, if you think Japan is going to absolutely go for an early war, you can even save the PP for this first advisor and maybe rush down partial mobilization, because that'd be better. But if you don't, play it safe. I'll keep some more factories. I'm getting 6 now from the AI. Let me make sure. No, I got another one from Iraq. do it with someone I don't need convoys for. Oh. And there we go. And again, if Japan does a later war with China, you can just save your PP until they do that. So 250 you want, 100 to send the attaché, 150 more to grab partial mob. Here, Japan did it about the beginning of 1937, so we'll get partial mob pretty early. I'm gonna hide convoys because we're never gonna see that again. Now that we have our attaché, now we want to get an advisor. I prefer the offense guy. How many guns do we have? Mild deficit. I'll make this our actual one. This will be our crap 50 width for as much XP as we can. Eventually. We might want to get started on Artie. I want to start on Artie. So now that we have our research slot, the rest of this, the dockyards, I mean, they're extra slots later on when you need them. Otherwise, they're meh. This is good later on, but we're nowhere close to it yet, so we can ignore this. And this side is good when you have more autonomy, but again, we do not have a lot of autonomy yet. So once this is done, if possible, you want to start going down your political side, which is what I'm going to start doing. And the reason I'm researching artillery and going down electronics is because the goal of this is to make a tank barrage using medium tanks. If you have other goals, you can adapt this, but that's what I'll be doing. So, yeah. We should have the PP for partial mode pretty soon here, and we've been building on early for a little bit now. Got a couple civvies out. And you might see there are slots in. Do not build in Pakistan until you flip democratic or Burma, because the compliance gets reset when the UK does their focus. Where is it? Indian autonomy. So that resets your compliance. All right, then partial mode we go. 7 now. The AI is giving me Turkey. Yeah, all right. All right. Pause it for a second. So just gonna keep track of what I'm doing. We're gonna go. Right now what we're aiming for is getting as much autonomy as we can, so we're going to do all these focuses down here. Alright, industry's done. I'll keep up industry. Now we have enough PP for another advisor. You could go captain of industry, but we won't be building civilian factories for that much longer, so I probably wouldn't. Instead, I would either grab the industrial concern or this guy for even more stability, or you could grab the Sun workhorse for more PP. You have options. Firstly, I'm going to grab the stability. artillery, and we're going to start towards anti-tank. And Raj is a nation which after the first year or so you have plenty of PP, so I do not mind spending more for research. Or more slots. Probably good. Is this extra slots? No. Alright. Right. So down to Crypt's mission, which does reduce your war support. So if you're on partial mob, you have to just be careful that you're that you can wrap it up with this focus before you need to demobilize. If war support is not high enough, or sorry, war world tension is not high enough, and you dip below 25. If that's not the case, then no worries. But just be aware, this does give -5 for a temporary bit. Alright, and we'll probably put this down to 4. Sure. And our next PP pick will be more slots on Delhi. Not Delhi. No, but it does go for whatever. We're going to start towards meeting things. Alright. Well, preferably this would be on West Bengal, so you can build 2 at a time, but since it's not, we'll just have to go for Rajasthan. And I would build... I guess still 25 owned civs would be decent. And start milling. Because you'll get a lot from the Soviets, you'll get more from the British focus tree, and you'll get more from the focuses over here. Give you another 3 or so. Yeah. You should have plenty of civs. And this puts our stability up, which is nice for more consumer goods. It gives us lots of autonomy, gives us recruitable population, gives us war support, and this gives us more autonomy. And yeah, just keep on pushing through the AT line. And so for the radial line, we want this for more breakthrough for our tanks. It's not worth it, I find, to push that far ahead on industry. Unless you have a buff for it. Oh. Just because you have a lot of slots right now, and not a whole lot of construction, so make do with what you got. Oh, I forgot. You don't even need China. For partial mob. You can guarantee it with Spain. Okay, sorry. Whoops. So China War is preferable because you get more army XP from the attaché, but Spain can also just give you partial mob in late 36, early 37. I know I said 25, but I'll build one more. No, we won't. I lied. 25. 25, 25, 25. 25. Alright, so now we have all our autonomy ticking up. The next thing I would do is this focus for negative 10% more consumer goods. And, yeah. Our next PP pick will be a military theorist. So we're going to start getting doctrine. Because why not? Alright, this will happen. It's whatever. Factory will repair in 15 days. And I find it is preferable to repair these with civilian factories because one is out of operation for 32 days, or you can repair a civilian factory for 12 days. So I choose to repair it. Up to you, it does not matter that much. For medium tank, we are going to create a very bare bone convert until we get the gun that we want. So max reliability, because you're going to be fighting in jungles and mountains from time to time. And yep. Oh, and you do... Okay. Alright, now... by the way, one of these generals is a tank general, I believe. So you definitely want this before the war. But we are not that yet. Before the war with Japan, to clarify. Instead, we are going to be going for these military factories, which take our autonomy. That is fine, because we will have plenty of autonomy to spare. Even if the UK does their focus late. Because we will be simping to the AI for convoys. So let's see. Military factory I would not bother repairing because it's not that productive right now. So that will just stay at the bottom of the queue for 36 days. We do want AA. Getting casted feels bad. And so the British AI will take the Burma road focuses, which improve your infrastructure here. The Britain player will basically never do that. So you do need to build, you do want to build your infrastructure up here so the Soviets can trade for your tungsten, and so you get your own tungsten for your tanks. So unfortunately the AI is denying me that. I guess I'll queue it up. Just so it doesn't scuff things too much. Now... Oh, theorist. I forgot. Right. Theorist. So because we're doing medium tanks, we're going to want high velocity gun. Yeah, 09 from the AI. A lot from Turkey. Okay, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria. We're trading now. 4 it should be? Alright. Seems good. Seems good. Also, if you feel like this is a bad PP pick, which could be fair, you can instead use that PP to improve relations with all the AI, like Czechoslovakia, Poland. And if you improve relations, there is a very high chance that they will trade with you instead of other people. So if you have like steel or tungsten or rubber, it makes them more likely to buy. So you can boost your industry that way too. Radios. Now I would probably go for I guess radio propaganda for more support. You are going to need both of these decisions to get to total mode when the war starts. And you do want to save enough political power because it is a big jump. Which would be... You're going to need a new attaché because China's probably going to peace out, hopefully. If Japan player is any good. So a new attaché, you're going to need enough for total mob itself, and then women in the workforce because you don't have a whole lot of recruitable population factor to spare. So 350 PP is how much you need to save up by the start of the war. Do we have enough? We do have enough autonomy. I believe only for one, yes. So we'll be going for the civilian factories. Alright, we're already up to 15 mils. It is the start of 39, so looking good. And I want to queue up more factories because we are running out of slots. Not for long. But it can't hurt. Oh wait, no, I never started building. Oh, I didn't mean to build those in Burma so soon. Oops. Now that we actually have factories, probably go for production efficiency cap. Leave radars for a bit because we're still getting caught up on AT and go for construction. And now I'm going to get an infantry expert. And about now is when you'd want to start sending troops to the Italian East Africa front. Just to help out Britain. And I probably want trucks. I forgot about trucks. Just to help with motorizing supply. Alright. Now we're going to go for the recruitable population factor. More people is always good. And now we are going to be saving PP for two things. One is to improve relations with the AI so we can start simping. And let me swap these over to actual inf. And the other is going to be total mobile when we start the war. So this is going to be our 40 width that we spam out to make the AI send us stuff. I will put in this. Poland, okay. And just keep on rushing down the AT line. And honestly, I might have wanted to start this earlier. But it is what it is. Alright. And now that we have started this tech, improved anti-tank upgrade, we want to get this tech so we can get our gun as fast as possible. So, that'll be the next. Yeah, that'll be the next. And if possible, you want to research Engineer 2s before this. So you get as much buff as possible, but it's whatever if you don't. Put another 10 on. You're going to want some extra infantry equipment. Not actual infantry equipment, but support equipment in AA. Because the AI does not build that much. I'll trade from what's the debuff? 7.5. Alright. I did not expect the AI to declare war so fast. Alright. Well, now we will send our attaché to Great Britain, which gives us autonomy. Good. We will wait for world tension to tick up. I forgot we saw ours with China. ILO. Okay. We will start improving relations with the people that will be around with us for the least amount of time, which is Belgium and the Netherlands. Oh, I forgot to actually. There you go. So I would read my guide on simping, but if you haven't, anyways, Belgium and the Netherlands are both good first, but good to request from before they capitulate for infantry equipment. So there's Belgium sending me 8,000, and Netherlands 6,000. And from the UK, our first batch of convoys. Start increasing our autonomy. Alright, and now we want to start getting improved equipment conversion so we can convert our crapper tanks into good ones as fast as possible. And so we're around normal start of war, 23 mils, with no South Africa, doing pretty good. 35 civs, that should be there. Yeah. And we're going to build up this tape for the steel and slots. And this one for the steel chromium and slot. Well, yeah, you need the extra steel. And remember, unfortunately, your compliance gets flipped when Pakistan, or in Pakistan, when the UK does their focus, so. I can't build there as much as it'd be nice to. Alright. And now we are going... Alright. Germany declared war. We're going to request one last Lend-Lease if they can. That's why it's nice if you pay more attention to it. Again, I'd look at my guide. But they can send you like 20,000 guns each, so the Netherlands and the Dutch can. If you are on it as soon as the war starts. Oh, this is good. Now it takes up convoys, so we can request convoys too. We're going to go for the mills. Alright. And now we can total mob, and as soon as possible, we are going to want women in the workforce. Which requires 84% war support. Once the world ticks up to, I don't know, 85 or so, you should get it. Or if you have extra PP, you can go for import propaganda films. I think we're just going to wait because it should take up pretty soon. Alright, improve relations with Sweden, Turkey, Iran, and Iraq because there's no player on it. How about AI? Oh, that's our Panzer leader. And you're running into a lot of generals to get everyone, so promote them before I do. And you start with no field marshals, right? Sorry, it's been a bit. Alright, my relations are high enough, so guns and convoys. And if you don't have a convoy deficit, improving relations and requesting from Cuba is a good way to get one. Which I might do. Okay. Maybe not quite yet. I don't have enough PP. Request from Sweden. Guns. Convoys. There we go. They're sending me 25. Guns. Convoys. 22. Guns. Convoys. 34. And now we unqueue all our fake divisions. The ones at the front line can actually get supply. You could have a couple more. I have some extra guns stockpiled. But, I don't know. Try and go for like 16, 20, enough to just help cave this in. If there's any actual resistance, I mean, let the other allies know. Otherwise, yeah. And your lack of convoys will be fine. You don't need anything trading from overseas. Alright. 11 from trade. UK probably wouldn't trade from you. So I'll put that up to 6. Did I see Romania? I did. 7. That's alright. We still got plenty of civs constructing. And the reason I max in for these instead of 4 out of 5, like I did for these states, is for the steel. You need lots of steel, and these are your 2 best steel states. But for everything else, I would go at max 4 out of 5 infrastructure, and for lower slot ones, I would just do 3 out of 5. Or even just keep it at the 2 out of 5. So, yeah. And it should be time for a new Linlithgow. Yep. Oh, hold on, I have to create an artificial deficit again. There we are. Did I ever do women in the workforce? Not yet. Why? I need more stability. Which can be get by more support. Okay. Alright. I forgot you need stability. Either way, it's still early war, so it doesn't matter that much, but you do want women in the workforce as soon as possible. Right, artificial deficit, more guns, more convoys. I know I will not be maximizing this because I'm trying to speed through as fast as possible, but still got a lot. That's more convoys. And now... So the reason we're using so many convoys is because the Netherlands is still trying to lend-lease us. From their little island. We have an unassigned focus, which will get the generals, and stability is an issue. Should it be time for a new lend-lease? And again, to improve your autonomy, you want to be getting as many convoys as possible. So you want a convoy deficit. You should have enough to get your troops across, but otherwise, just keep on. Some convoys. And increase our autonomy. Oh, I don't have any, technically. Alright, I'll wait for the next shipment. Might want one more on these. 2 more on these, and then 10 more on tanks. Alright, yeah. Whatever. I might have jumped the gun a bit on total mode, but it's fine. And if you ever really need PP for more men... oh, wait, I forgot. I still have men. I just had an artificial deficit that I created. I forgot about. We're going to want more army experience. And we're going to start going for our doctrine. About warfare right. And it depends. You can either go right or right left for more, for the same manpower that you would get from going mass mode. There we are. That should time up pretty well. So we can start converting our tanks as efficiently as possible as soon as we get the gun. And then we're timed that again. Not timed out. Get more of our block. Ugh. Cool. Play it tick. Convoy deficit, convoy deficit. Good. Con deficit, some extras, convoy deficit. Alright, and now I'm going to cancel one from the Netherlands to improve our autonomy so we don't get famined. What else is using my convoys? For trade? Hold on. You know what? Belgium's corpse might be... There we go. 770 autonomy. So the goal is you can become a Dominion even if the UK does not click their focus or if they click it very late. This Indian autonomy. Getting famine is terrible, and so this helps make a reliable way of stopping it even if the UK drops their end of the deal. Improve worker conditions for more stability so we can go women in the workforce. Because it is starting to get close to 41, and we're going to want that. Alright, Turkey. I can drop this one. Alright, and now that we're getting closer to war, 33 mils, which is alright. Could be more if the Soviets were actually trading with us, but it's fine if they aren't. We are going to press this reorganize the railway system decision, which is crucial. We're going to build a supply hub up here. We're going to build a supply hub behind the river here. Actually, yes, behind the river here, and I believe one down here, because this is going to be our main pushing area. Another one down here. And because, yeah, 19 days to build, will be fine. And you want to connect this network up with the rest of the country, because it does not start off like that. So improve those all to level 2. Good enough. We're going to take a couple months to build up our supply network over here and up here. Oh, let me build a level 1 up here too. There we go. And once we get women in the workforce, we have technically no guns, but if I cancel this for a second, 80,000 guns. Most of which are from the AI, which is good. Actually, let me. Oh, I have 2 point. Okay, I lied. Hold on. I forgot that I got more manpower from our doctrine. So out comes 96 divisions. And for the division template, it's just kind of 16 with crappers. These are not good. A lot of them will have gun 1s, that's alright. More army XP. Even more army XP if you want it. And so if you do women in the workforce, you want to be a little riskier, this is better for tanks. But you can also go down this side, get guerrilla tactics, more mobilization. They're both good. We should be getting our tanks pretty soon here, and I need more aluminum. There. And I can raise our autonomy. We don't have women in the workforce. Oh, we don't need women in the workforce. No famine. With the... Ouch. I guess normally you don't do it like this, but if you have to, I guess communists. Another mill on trains and promote someone to be field marshal. You're this hill guy. Expensive. Oh, and you do one of your generals you get from a thing also has a skilled staffer trait, so you can make him into a very good field marshal. I forgot about that. I'll ignore it for this test, but it's good to know. Here, let me put these in a separate army. And this, I will create a Alright, so the shape of the fallback line is pretty important. You want to get as many mountains as possible, but still leave yourself open some avenues to push. Like down here. And you want to be in this river, because if you... This river back here, generally you'll lose control of Burma, which means losing your tungsten, which means losing 15, 20, however many civs from the Soviets, which is rough. So if you can hold up here, I build the supply hubs to try and do so. They're still finishing up, but they should be done pretty soon. And once the Japanese reach this, you can turn it into a front line, a field marshal front line, and help straight things. I will put trucks and start training them, but make sure to stop training them before the war. And we're going to need more infantry equipment, so start queuing up. Just make sure not to assign your tank guy, except for your tanks. You actually have 2 tank guys. Right. And guns, convoys. Guns, A, convoys. Guns, AA, port, and convoys. Convoys are always good, even once you're a Dominion, just to help out the faction. Support equipment, guns, convoys. And now we will put a, since we have our whole doctrine, bolt attack on. That's better. Yeah, we'll cancel this. And we'll pump out another 48. Hoping to get like 10 per tile or so over here by the start of the war with Japan. And then we want some extra to cover our ports. I did not put these on motorized. There we are. So just to recap, supply up here to cover these fronts. But not, you don't want to have it on the front line in case they take it, and that would make it miserable because you have to pull back to here, which is a way bigger front line. Supply hubs. Yeah, I'll just pause for a second so you can see this. So I believe I built one here. And here. And connect them with the railway here. Yep. Enough time has passed. I will send UK more convoys than we have. I'll be like, yep. Too. And back to request guns. And some AA. No trains, I guess. Probably put a second mill on train, or a third mill on trains. If Finland is a player, you can also request from them. And Brazil. There's a lot of places to request from. Consult the document. It's a lot easier to do this with 3 speed before the war. You want to get as much Lend-Lease before the war with Japan starts because it becomes a lot harder to keep on top of it from month to month. Just because you're actually microing stuff. A new general. Sure. And after this focus, I believe we'll just be holding on. Oh, this is bad for equipment. We'll be holding our focuses for more PP, for more slots, and actually get women in the workforce, because I've been neglecting that, and whatever else we might need. How much are we getting traded from? 8. Colors of Turkey, I can go down. So our industry mid 40, we're at 35 mils, which is pretty good considering the UK has not done developed the Raj. So with this, you'd have this is the UK has not developed the Raj, and we are not really getting trade from the Soviets. So in an actual game, hopefully your industry would be even better than this. You'd be at like 40, 45 mils at this point, going on 30 on tanks, and we're already at 6,000 stockpiled. You'd be living the good life. And I only put 1 on guns just to get some troops out for war. Otherwise, everything comes from the AI. Speaking of, it is time for a new Lend-Lease. AA support equipment, guns, convoys? No, not convoys. So they won't send you stuff if you have a stockpile. Which is why I need to create an artificial one with Cuba. Send me guns. 5,000, perfect. Request convoys again, and if you ever want to free up your convoys to transport troops, trade, send to the UK, all you have to do is stop the Lend-Lease with Cuba. Just a reminder that you want to get as much of this out of the way before the start of 41, so you can focus on the Japan War when it starts. Alright. Production efficiency. I forgot to get engineer companies. You want flame tanks. I forgot to grab those earlier. That'll be alright. We will live without them for a bit. And now we can finally do women in the workforce, so for war bonds. And now we can do probably victory or death. There's something else I want to do. Oh, yes, we have our stuff to start making tanks. I remember. So now Raj is a nation that actually has resources to build tanks, which is very nice. So you can just convert these from machine guns. Don't have to do anything fancy. That, oof. You might want 1940 tanks. Once you can get them. I forgot how bad reliability is on these. But something like this will work. Armor clicks. Should be good. You want to keep it around 80%. And turn into a tank destroyer. And one of these researchers probably should actually be going to 1940. Alright, and now cancel our focus so we can save our PP. And start converting. A today. And we're going to design our tank division. It's going to be destroyers, tank destroyers, destroyers, tank destroyers. More tank destroyers, tank destroyer, tank destroyer, tank destroyer. And personally, I just do infantry. You can walk along with them. Or you could even do mountaineers. Mountaineers would make a good one, or marines, if you research them. Up to 36 combat width. Engineer. AA. Motorized recon. For some extra movement. Yep. And we'll put flame tanks in when we get them. And so once you finish converting all your basic tanks, you're going to want to swap over to 1940s. Alright, it's time for more guns. Let me see if I can widen the deficit a little so the AI sense me more. Country equipment, convoys. No, whatever. Equipment convoys. For a bit. Send the UK some more convoys if they need them or whoever else needs them. Get some more autonomy and request guns again. Perfect. Guess that. Now we're coming up on like 160 days by the start of the war. I still got the famine. Okay, maybe the UK doesn't need to click the decision. Oops. Oh. That's unfortunate. Poor bonds. Alright, we almost have enough tanks for our first division. Probably want to start getting those out, or even create infantry equipment that you can start training them. I'd try and get 4 out by war, but it can be a little difficult. Right. What did I just... Oh, flame tanks. Because it's just infantry we're walking with, you just need something cheap. Cheap and reliable. Perfect. And I forgot to upgrade the company. Reliability, speed, and probably more reliability. This, production efficiency cap, and then output cost, yes, piercing, and either of these is fine. You could upgrade this, but I'll just wait till improve medium tank. Alright, get all those units out. Get them training. Get a general on them. Get another army training for your ports. And try and get some divisions out for your ports by the start of the war if you can. I haven't been requesting as much as I have just to save time, but you're definitely going to get a full army or so out for your ports. So it's hard for them to enable invade. Especially this one here. This one's important because it's a good supply hub. It connects you up. Yeah. And so we're about 10. And it should be noted, this 10 strong army is not going to stop you from being broken. But it will give you lots of time for your tanks, once they are out, to react and push them back. So let me just edit my tank divs to have their flank tanks in them. Right. So we are at about 38 mils right now. Again, no real Soviet trade, no British giving us civs, so we're still doing pretty good. We got a fair amount of tanks. We are pumping them out even with the famine, which, oof, rough, but oh well. We're almost to free, and again, Britain has not done their autonomy thing. So just by AI convoys alone, we have pushed ourselves almost to free, with me not even doing them that frequently. That's good. This is all impassable, so we don't have to worry about it. And 1941, Japan War might start here. You probably would want your 1940 mediums by now, but you'll still be converting, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. So we have about 1 tank division. Almost, with tanks, if you were to cancel these. And very quickly, like I'd say in a couple months, we'll have our full 4 out. So you get like 2, 3, 4 to play with, and then you start building more and more tanks at a much faster pace since you have production efficiency built up. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to quickly show you what your division will look like when it's actually has real tanks. So put that in, radio, and you're going to want 2 small cannons in case they ever bring tanks over, or if your tanks are needed in Europe. Many armor clicks as possible. Engine doesn't matter for as much breakthrough. Save it as a tank destroyer. Alright, and yeah, this is what your tank will look like. Not the best tank in the world, but good enough to get stuff done. And if you did go for... Right. You'd have more breakthrough, more org, even more recovery rate. Let me play a day so it takes over the stats properly. That's what you'd be looking at, which is also pretty good. And I will call it here. We have 155 divisions out with only 1 mil on guns. Fair amount of tanks. It could be a lot more if I actually requested from the AI consistently, but didn't for the sake of time. Yeah. We are on a good spot. If I actually put these divisions out and train them up a bit to try and push, anytime we get pushed, we can push them back. If Japan is sleepy, you could put your tanks over in Iraq or Africa, or prepare them for D-Day, wherever they need to go. Yep.